In the name of God, the beneficent, the most merciful, all praise is due to God. Welcome back to Honest Opinion, keeping it real and making it happen. I'm your host, Hakeem Akil, better known as Hakeem the Dream. Good morning, peace be unto you, and salam alaikum again. Again, we welcome you, the listening audience, to another dynamic, special show. And what makes this show so special is because it's dealing with history and dealing with the past and the present and the future. And we have, as always, we have a nice selection of guests who's very well known to the community, and they themselves would add to the subject matter. But I just wanted to let you know that this is something that you want to bring your kids and any young adults and yourself come and take notes and listen, because only on Honest Opinion, keeping it real, that you'll find subject matter that's uplifting, motivating, and spiritual, and all of the other good attributes that goes along with that. So I know you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to get right into it right now. Our theme for the day is called Juneteenth. Now, again, some of you might be familiar with it, but some of you don't, but I will assure you, if you listen to this show in its entirety, you will have a history lesson, and you would be so thankful to know that what took place for us to be where we are today wasn't in vain. So again, before I take much time, I'll get right into my monologue, and I'll turn the mic over to Brother Jarvis Al-Amin. He, in return, will introduce today's guests. And again, we said we got some special guests here. Okay, Juneteenth. This month, we as a community joyfully celebrate Juneteenth, also known as Freedom Day or Emancipation Day. Juneteenth commemorates the announcement of the abolition of slavery in the state of Texas in 1865. Juneteenth is celebrated on June the 19th. And the reason we did it a week earlier, because next week is Father's Day, and we want to do a special show on Father's Day, responsibility of father. So that's why we're a week early, but it's supposed to be celebrated on June the 19th. Because this was on this day that Union General Gordon Giner announced the following: the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the Executive Office of the United States, all slaves are free. This involved an absolute equality of personal rights and the rights of property between former master and slave. As African American, we should reflect on these words and remember the fight that generation went through to allow us to freely exist today. We have the freedom to live, think, and act as we please. We should use our freedom to continue to uplift ourselves, our people, our community. It is said that June 19th should be a time for reflection and rejoicing. It is a time for assessment, self-improvement, and for planning the future. As a nation, it is important that we celebrate this day so that we will never allow ourselves to forget our history, because slavery is not just a part of black history, but American history. Indeed, President Barack Obama said, our nation is strong because of the generation of struggle for equal rights and social justice. And our culture is richer because of the contribution of African Americans throughout our history. This is why Juneteenth, while rooted in the history of a people, we can celebrate by all America. Though on today's show, we remember June 19th and celebrate our rich history. June 19th, Juneteenth is in 1865, as considered the day when the last slave in America was free. Although the rumors of freedom was widespread before this, actually emancipation did not come until General Gordon Giner rode into Galveston, Texas, and issued General Orders Number 3 on June 19, almost 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Think about that. So with further going along the program, now I would introduce to you Brother Jarvis. We ask you to call in and ask questions and take notes, but this is a very heavy subject today. With that, Brother Jarvis, on me.
And good morning, Hakeem the Dream, and welcome to Honest Opinion, keeping it real, making it happen. AM 1150 and 96.1 FM, and streaming live from WTMP.com. The call-in number here is 813-251-9867, 813-251-WTMP. Follow us on YouTube. Just type in the word Honest Opinion. Follow us on Facebook and type in the word Honest Opinion as well. I just want to make a couple announcements. I've been making this announcement every week because it's important. I want to say that crime is on the rise during this economic hard times. And I found a website that I want to introduce to my listeners. It's called www.spotcrime.com. Get your pens and paper. It's www.spotcrime.com. And you put your address in there and you'll see what kind of incidents is happening around where you live at. And you can see the importance of a home safety expo, how to keep your home safe. It's going to be next Saturday on the 18th at the Hope Center from 12 to 3 o'clock. And we're going to talk about home safety tips and free foreclosure information. And we have some entertainment by DJ Marvelous. And we have a number of people in the community working with us. If you'd like to get involved, give us a call at 813-787-6652. Hakeem the Dream, you did a wonderful job on that monologue talking about Juneteenth. So the topic for today is the significance of the Juneteenth celebration. Panel guest includes, we have in the studio with us, we have longtime community activists, my dear sister, Sister Connie Burton. Welcome to Honest Opinion. Tell us a little about yourself, Sister Connie.
Well, brother, thank you so very much for inviting me, especially on this subject. Juneteenth, fighting for freedom and liberation and justice should be on the minds of African people every day. So I'm glad to be able to contribute to this discussion.
Kind of burden. Liberation right on the top this morning. Kwame the Zulu, poet and griot, spoken word artist, my dear friend, on this side of the bay now. For many years, coming out of Harlem, New York, and St. Petersburg. Good evening, Kwame the Zulu. Welcome to Honest Opinion. First time here. Tell us a little about yourself.
Greetings, brother. Thank you so much for inviting me. As you said, I'm a long-time community and cultural artist in this community. Poet and griot, African storyteller, oral historian, the keeper of our history through story and through poetry, as well as a programmer at this radio station right here years ago.
Used to be Kevin D.
Used to be Kevin D. doing gospel 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. right here at WTMP 1150. That's right, way back in the day.
Do your thing, my man. We're going to get some of that storyteller. He is a great griot and storyteller. I mean, Kwanzaa and all of these Juneteenth celebrations, it's always an honor to hear you. We're looking for some very good stuff from you this morning. We have in the studio with us also Mr. James Stokely, Tampa's poet, laureate, and a historian within itself. He come and grace us with his presence this morning, and this is a special day for you. I know you have to be going, but tell us a little about yourself for our listeners that don't know who you are.
Well, my name is James Stokely. I'm the poet laureate for the city of Tampa, as you have said, and I am in the midst of some great men and women, and I want to reiterate what was said every day as far as African Americans, as far as Americans are concerned, is Juneteenth. Every day is Juneteenth, past, the present, and the future. And it's just a privilege to be here. May God bless all of you who hear us. Assalamu alaikum.
All right.
Brother, I was just like cutting right now, because I owe Mr. Totally apology, and I say that low. The last time he was on the show, I thought that I knew a little something about history. And I made the statement that the biggest library was in the Vatican, under the city of Vatican. And he corrected me and told me, said, no, it was the Library of Congress. Now, I didn't think that he was right, but after research, I have to take my hat off to you, sir.
Hakeem the Dream challenging history up here this morning. All right, Hakeem, Mr. Totally there, who's well versed in history. Hakeem the Dream.
I forgot. I told you that, man.
Hakeem the Dream. We got to get you a better matchmaker. All right, Hakeem. Well, listen, why don't we start off like this? And I want to go straight to Kwame first. Kwame, in your own words, what is Juneteenth? I know Hakeem did a monologue, but just tell me in your own words, what is Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is a celebration of our ancestry, a remembering of who we are, where we come from, why we are, the reason for our existence, and the purpose of our living. A lot of times we don't want to look back because it's so very painful for us, especially as African people here in America, that we want to negate that past. But as we've all heard, a people who, without knowledge of self, is like a tree without roots.
Right.
And you're doomed to repeat it if you don't know that history.
Very good. Oh, my, he hit it on the head. We're going to have some fun up here today. This is going to get hot up in here, listeners. Get to that phone. Sister Connie, what is the historical significance of Juneteenth? When you start talking about history, and he led me and segued right into it.
Well, for me, the history of Juneteenth shows that America could not be America for not the work of African people. And when we talk about the work of our people, we have to talk about the brutal hatred of America that kidnapped, robbed, and took us from our home, brought us here, and has benefited and continue to benefit off the blood, sweat, and tears of our people. So for me, Juneteenth is an opportunity to pay homage to our people's struggle, to educate our youth, and to continue to advance our struggle until we reach our final destination.
Very good. She hit it right on the head. Dr. Toler, we're going to go right to you. Right. You know what amazed me? Juneteenth is celebrated as a Freedom Day, but I have never heard of the actual day when it was January 1st, 1863, as January 1st being celebrated as a proclamation of Freedom Day. What do they call it? Emancipation Proclamation Day. Why did you think, man, it took 2.5 years
You must understand.
to get the message over to Galveston, Texas?
You must understand that when both of these events occurred, America was at war against itself. America was at war.
He led right where I want to go.
We're talking, you know, first was the word, and we're talking about the manifestation of the word, a dialogue that began a revolution in Galveston, Texas, wherein General Granger interacted with individuals who up to that time had never heard anything about the Emancipation Proclamation or anything else, and he had to tell them, you are free. So one might say that along with a war setting people free was the word that set people free. The word was what began the revolution, and that's I did a piece on that for you this morning.
All right, you want to go ahead? Yeah, let's go ahead and hit it now. That's why we got it, because you don't have to go. Then we'll come to you. I can dream. Okay. All right, go ahead and hit that piece. We're gonna get some poetry. Hit it and quit it like James Brown.
It's entitled "The Epic of Juneteenth." Union General, caked with the dust of sleepless miles and ailing health, rode on to a ruined Texas farm that blossomed full from slavery's wealth. The general and his men presented themselves to a gathering crowd no soldier knew, for the ones who greeted them with fear were a servile folk of the darkest hue. And by virtue of their rags and humble ways, the general knew at once his hosts were slaves. "Dismount!" he yelled, with a bugler's voice, and to the crowd of slaves he stately said, "I trust this day you shall rejoice. No longer are you slaves, but free instead. For the reason I have come to call concerns the future of you all, and by virtue of equality, I bring you news of liberty." A woman screamed, a young man cried, a river flowed from swollen eyes. Said Blue Suit, "This day, June 19th, I now proclaim and say for sure, our severed land is now at peace, and the slave master's hand shall be raised no more." The general's words were wise and clear, that stuck to the tiniest children's ears, who paused their aimless, frivolous play and listened to what this white man had to say. And men who'd known but curses and lies stood waiting for another alibi.